Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for staying tuned to the series. This week's episode is from Gabe of Backwoods Pursuits, and he talks about how God used hunting to really teach him a life lesson about considering others before yourself or before himself. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm sure a lot of you have also felt the same way about hunting. I know that I have. When you're going out constantly with other people and whatnot, and then you just start worrying about yourself. But that's what's so great about hunting, is doing it with other people and doing it with friends and doing it with family, thinking about other people and not being selfish for your own harvest and your own things that you bring home. So hope you guys enjoy this video. I know many of you are going to be able to relate to this video. And if you want to be a part of this series, hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, or email us at unboundedpursuit@gmail.com. Here's Gabe.
Hi, my name is Gabe, and I'm the owner of Backwoods Pursuit, where we do backcountry gear reviews and hunting gear reviews, so that's a lot of fun. I get to bring you those after we get test gear and whatnot. But today, what I wanted to talk to you about is something that God used in my life through hunting 6 years ago that really changed my approach to spending time out in His creation. That was something that God used through my passion for hunting to teach me a life lesson. I love it when He does that. I love it when He teaches us life lessons through things that we enjoy, but especially this was a grace-filled lesson that He gave to me. So I want to share that with you today. It's based out of Philippians 2:3, and He brought that verse to me where basically that verse just says to do nothing out of selfish ambition, but to consider others better than yourselves. The backstory here was in 2014. It was a culmination of about 7 years of a lot of failures out in the hunting world, and specifically in the archery hunting. I had gotten into archery hunting about over 10 years ago, now 12 to 15 years ago, and had a little bit of success right out of the gate, but then had a span of about 7 years where I just was making poor shots, missed a bunch of shots, went on a backpacking trip and came home with one arrow and a whole bunch of misses, and just frustrating seasons and frustrating trips like that, one after the other. So I finally got to a place in 2014 where just kept hunting harder, training harder, getting better shape, all those type of things that I could do under my own power to become better at hunting. But it just wasn't happening. It wasn't, for whatever reason, God was bringing me to a place of humility, and He really laid that verse on my heart to consider others better than yourselves and to do nothing out of selfish ambition. After an opening weekend miss, another miss that was super frustrating, and I just brought to that situation where I didn't know what else to do. I was like, I practiced all the time, super diligent about being prepared, but it just wasn't happening. So He brought me to that place where He gave me that verse and just really laid it on my heart through my mom, actually, who spoke into my life at that point, and just said, I think God's trying to teach you something through this. And so I looked at that verse and really prayed about it, and what He brought me to is, stop trying so hard under your own power and let me be your source of power. Let me be the one to provide for you. And so I literally took that verse to heart and dedicated the rest of that season of 2014 to supporting other people that wanted to hunt, like my brothers and my dad and my wife, and they get to come and hunt with me sometimes. So I more or less decided I was going to take a back seat to all those guys the rest of the year. And what ended up happening was He blessed me beyond measure for that year. It was the kind of situation where I was in a caller for my brother. We'd been working some elk for a number of days, and continued to just be the caller, and didn't really have the ambitions of trying to take an elk. But what happened was he provided this, not just an elk. He provided not just a bull, but a bull of a lifetime. This one here, that I couldn't even have imagined that He would have provided something like that after all the frustrations. Not only that, but He provided a great 11-yard shot at this screaming bull in the middle of near the end of September, and it was just a huge life lesson in letting God provide for us, letting Him do the work for us, relying on His strength and not our own. And He has used a passion that I have for being outdoors, a passion for elk hunting, to bring me to that place. So that's become one of my go-to verses, because we all struggle at times with lack of humility, and I'm no different. There's times where I try to take things in my own hand, and that was one of those times where God brought that to my attention and just said, hey, let's rely on His strength rather than our own. So that was just a real life-changing event for me in the way that I approach humility and try to take on that every season now, just to be there and help others and be the kind of hunting buddy, the kind of hunting partner that others want to be around, rather than self-serving, selfish, and be the guy that no one wants to be around. So that's something that was significant to me. That's a fairly recent story that really took hold of me. So I thought I'd share that with you today. I really appreciate your time, and thanks again for having me.